Where Fader's coming up.
Yes, he's there. He's at the podium now.
Good afternoon. Got several folks that are coming into the room. Before I begin with a very brief statement, a life was lost in downtown Wheeling today, and despite the circumstances, our condolences go out to family members there. At approximately 2:43 p.m. this afternoon, multiple law enforcement agencies and officers responded to the area of the Federal Building on Chapman Street for a report of someone in the parking lot across from the Federal Building discharging a firearm. Responding officers engaged the gunman who was continuing to discharge that firearm. That person was incapacitated by the gunfire from a Wheeling police officer as well as a court security officer who responded from across the street at the Federal Building. Due to the location of this incident, the Federal Bureau of Investigation is assuming the lead on this very complex criminal investigation. This investigation is very fluid, and I will not be entertaining any questions at this time related to motive or anything otherwise. The Wheeling Police Department, Ohio County Sheriff's Department, West Virginia State Police, and many other federal and even local law enforcement agencies are contributing multiple resources and will be throughout the remainder of the evening. The only other thing that I wanted to stress, a little over 2 hours after this incident, is that there are no remaining threats in Wheeling. People are safe. It appears that this gunman was alone. There will be some road closures that remain downtown, particularly in the area of the Federal Building. And certainly vehicles within the crime scene will not be accessible for some time, most likely overnight. We will have another press conference this evening at 8 p.m. at this location, and at that point we may be able to answer some additional questions, but at this time I'll try to answer some questions, but I promise you I'm not going to go into great detail about motive or anything else.
Chief, what about a name?
The name of?
Has been out in some media outlets. It's been confirmed by the U.S. Attorney that it was a former Wheeling police officer.
That is in fact true. I am not at this time going to release a name. I have not confirmed.
Did you deny Thomas Picard is the right name?
I'm not going to give you any information on a name. I will confirm that the person believed to be responsible is a former Wheeling police officer, resigned in July of 2000. Other questions?
Any fatalities, Chief?
Other than the gunman, no.
Was a security guard, a federal security guard hit?
I do not know that at this time.
What weapon was used?
I'm not going to confirm that.
When you say an assault-style rifle, is that an AK-47, Kalashnikov, or are we talking an AR-15?
I don't remember saying any type of weapon, and I'm not going to get into that at this point.
The Associated Press was saying an assault-style weapon. Can you confirm that?
I'm not going to go into anything else about what was used or motive, those sort of things.
So then you're denying that there was an assault-style weapon?
Any other questions?
Chief, do you recall the last time that a Wheeling officer has discharged his or her weapon in the line of duty?
I do not. But what I can tell you is that we do have protocols in place. That officer will be placed on administrative leave. Our internal affairs, our Office of Professional Standards, will most likely adopt the criminal investigation once that is complete.
What are the conditions of the people that were taken to the hospital?
I don't know. If anybody else wants to, anybody wants to answer those types of questions, I'm not going to get into that at this point.
Can we ask a question of the U.S. Attorney?
Sure.
Mr. Youngfeld, were you in your office when this occurred?
I was.
If you could get over by the microphones, please, sir.
Would you be able to maybe describe a little bit some of your recollections of what happened?
Sure. Our office was, we were working, not fully staffed due to the government shutdown. We heard gunshots outside of the Federal Building. Windows of some of my folks were hit. At least one window was hit, possibly more. I think that's still going to be part of the investigation as to how many shots were fired, how many windows were hit, which windows were hit. I know just from my own walking through the office, observed a gunshot through one of the criminal AUSA's offices on the second floor.
Your office faces that street, it was not hit?
My office was not hit, no, to my knowledge. In fact, I haven't been back in there actually since all this happened, so to the best of my knowledge, it wasn't hit. Obviously, there was a lot of fear and anxiety, and folks were scared about what was happening, and so we have internal protocols that we put into place as far as getting everybody into a safe area away from windows. And fortunately, the law enforcement officers outside of the building made sure everything was all right for us to allow our employees to go home. Their vehicles obviously are still there.
They have been evacuated, the building is empty now, other than just normal,
The building has been evacuated other than those who have to stay back in relation to the investigation.
United States Attorney. Chief.
Okay, again, 8 p.m. this evening at this location, and at that time, maybe, we will be briefing the FBI, who has arrived not too awful long ago, and there is, like I mentioned, a very fluid investigation ongoing, and we have a lot of work to do. It's going to be a long night, but we will try to get more detail to you at 8 p.m.
Chief, just one more question. 3 people injured?
Philip, I don't know. I have not been briefed on those injuries. I know that other than the gunman, there are no serious injuries. I can say that.
And again, you said the gunman was a former Wheeling police officer?
I will confirm that, resigned in July of 2000. And I'm sorry, I did not introduce anyone. I asked that they would introduce themselves as they come to the podium if they have anything.
My name's Gary Gaskins. I'm the U.S. Marshal for the Northern District of West Virginia,
spell your name, sir.
Gaskins. And just to follow up on your question about the injuries, we have 2 court security officers that were taken to the hospital. They were treated with minor injuries and have been released.
Minor would be breaking glass, most likely.
Minor injuries, obviously, from the incident, yes.
Was there a 3rd person?
We have 2 court security officers that were transported and treated, yes.
Court security officers, were they armed, the ones who were at the metal detector?
They are armed, yes.
Gary, I saw Chad Simpson walking from the scene with a looked what to be an assault rifle, but it had a wooden handle on it. Do U.S. Marshals carry any kind of weapon with a wooden handle on it?
Now, they're given certain weapons, so we'll leave it at that.
Again, sir, can you just tell us, there is no threat to the Wheeling community, correct?
As of right now, the chief indicated, and we're on agreement that the federal building in that area and all is secure from this incident, yes.
Do you know, was the gunman only firing at the building or people in particular?
I don't know. Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Chief, I have a question real quick. Obviously, you didn't know if it is the officer in question has been identified. Have you had a chance to look into the officer who resigned in July of 2000? Any indication in his personnel record that you're aware of that would maybe lead?
I have not reviewed that. I have not reviewed that resignation letter or file. Obviously, folks, we're very much in the beginning of this. It's going to take a lot of time. I can't guarantee how much detail we'll give you at 8 o'clock either. We'll do our best. That's all I can offer.
One more question. Has the government shutdown affected in any way the ability to respond to a situation like this?
I can't answer that, but I'll just say this. Law enforcement, I responded from Elm Grove, and there were so many law enforcement officers there, and I would like to say this at this time, and I say it all the time. Police officers, law enforcement officials run into that fire when everyone else is running away. And as far as I'm concerned, those officers who responded today are heroes in my book. So I'll leave it at that. We'll be back at 8 o'clock. Hopefully we'll have some more additional information, okay? Thank you.